Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Into the Red Rabbit Hole. I'm Nighthawk, your host, and we've got Eric waiting patiently. We're going to get through the disclaimer, and then we're going to get into the thick of things because I've got several topics, and Eric and I have been talking for the last hour about backstage that I find pretty fascinating, and some of the subject matter, another night of picking the old viewing family's brain. So let's get through it. And I also have to add that not all content shared on this channel is necessarily the opinions or theories of the channel. So, copyright disclaimer is this channel may use some copyrighted material without specific authorization of the owner, but contends that it falls under the Fair Use, which is the Copyright Act of 1976. Nighthawk High Strange's podcast channel, under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, makes allowances are made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, commentary, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, research, parody, general knowledge only, and let's not forget the entertainment value. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, otherwise known as the Fair Use Act. All right, let me get that off of there and say hello to everybody in the chat. And let's see, we have who we got in the chat. We got that ED Testerman. There's Lauren. Good to see you, Lauren. Carl, good to see you. Don, good to see you. Let's see, who else? Candy, good to see you. All right, I know there's more people out there, and more people will join us too. So, anyways, we've got a lot of subject matter to cover tonight, Eric. I hope you're ready, and I hope everybody in the chat is ready because some of the places we're going to be going and talking about tonight are pretty far out there. Okay, even for me to say. Hey, Val, good to see you. Even for me to say, it's some of them are pretty far out there. We're going to get into the whole Elvis thing tonight too. I found some interesting information out about that whole Elvis, and how he died, and and who people think Elvis is now, and all that. So believe me, it's a whole different rabbit hole I'll be going down on that one. Ask Eric, he'll tell you. Um,
Mhm.
Also, I want to get into the topic of the super soldier program and AI and the possibility of, the genetics being manipulated by our own governments. And I use that plurally because we know that our own government has several labs in other countries where they do this research, including Australia, Japan, um, Ukraine, UK. I mean, they're all over the place. Okay, probably even in Canada. So we're going to get into that whole subject matter too. But for starters, I want to play something for everybody, and I want you all to take a good look at this. This may be our future, the future of humanity if we keep up going the way we're going. Okay. Now, I shared some information online, and I have to give credit where credit is due. This information was disclosed um, by Joe Rogan on the Joe Rogan podcast. Um, it's about the DoD bill that was passed, 5240.01. And it is literally it's it's worded in such a way that it can be deceiving. Okay, it can be used against the citizens of the United States, the patriotic citizens of the United States, the taxpayers. um, it can be used against them. From what I've read and from what Eric's read, we were talking about it backstage, and it's almost like it's leading into something coming up. And I wish Robin was in the chat because she'd be able to clarify that too. Um, but yeah, anyways, it's called the DOD, and it's number 5240.01. Okay. And it is literally, um, here, let me pop it up on the screen. It is literally where the government of the United States passed the bill through the DOD, 5240.01, that can manipulate the United States military or any other military they deem appropriate to combat citizens of America, legal citizens of America. Okay. So you don't have to be rioting. All you've got to have done against you is if you even protest, peaceful protesting, somebody can give the orders to unalive everybody that's protesting. Now, I'm just putting this information out there. Okay. Um, this is, something that just recently found out. In fact, Joe Rogan just recently found out about it too. So, but I thought that was very, very interesting, Eric, because we all know about the UN and the blue hats and all that coming in to our country. And at the same time, our current leadership in the, well, if you can call it leadership in the White House, has taken it upon himself to basically make a law and pass things through his signature to tear down sections of the southern border wall. Okay. Now this is another topic altogether for Rumble, but I'm just putting it out there. Okay, that he's done that, and they are presently doing that in the highest concentrated areas of where the cartels bring people through. Okay, basically the human trafficking. So, but that's just theory, conjecture. It has no basis on it, whatsoever. This is just news that I heard reported on Redacted and Next News Network and Truth Social and other areas, of the social media news exchange. So thought it was interesting.
Well, and something people need to remember that is not the current administration coming in. That is the current administration that is fixing to come out that's doing this. So keep that in mind. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it's very important to keep that in mind.
Yeah, exactly. And then to take it even further, we all have seen reports of these things being around airports and military bases and all that. But the latest reports of so-called orbs or drones, whatever you want to call them, um, the latest report is that they are spraying something in the air above New Jersey and New York. Some type of chemical was released by these things that made like a chemtrail. I call them chemtrails, but the same thing. But you can see them behind, several of these things releasing it into the air, which kind of doesn't surprise me because they've been talking about an epidemic for a long time now. There's also rumors that they're using LIDAR to map what's under the ground. And no, it's not Iranians that are coming here on a ship out off the coast, the East Coast, and all that. I believe it's a three-letter agency doing it in conjunction with working with someone else other than the people of this country. So, that being said, I'm curious to see what everybody thinks in the chat and what Eric thinks about that.
Well, from what I understood, that they were going to release something new, and it would be in the New York area. So that kind of fits with that pretty well. As far as the Iranians coming across, they're coming across the border, so they don't need to hop on a ship and come over. Are actually shapeshifters. A lot of chemtrail planes are actually shapeshifters. In past years, metallic orbs have been filmed spraying chemtrails. Yeah, and some of the chemtrails you're seeing now is to counteract what the cabal. Never mind. Rumble.
Yeah, that's a Rumble subject. I was just curious to see what everybody would think of, their comments and stuff in the chat. Scott and Joshua, good to see you. Dead Wolf, good to see you. So, it's Sovereign, good to see you. It's something to see this stuff happening all around us. Duck Pills, good to see you. Freaky Geek, good to see you. But a lot of other weird stuff is happening too. Let's not forget that, tonight, by the way, and tomorrow night are the two best nights to see certain objects falling from the sky. You have the meteor showers from 11 p.m. to about 3 a.m. are the prime times to see that. So if you get a chance to, you might want to pop outside tonight if it's a clear night and, and take a peek at it. So, but anyways, that's just my thought, if you guys wanted to do something to enjoy the night. Let me see.
Oh, Scott just froze and had to reboot.
Yeah. I got a picture I want to post up here too. There was this that was shown around about 3 weeks ago on the internet. They claim that this was a floating device in the water, and there is literally no flotation devices on that thing. That's not a buoy. Okay, it's actually a piece of it has an armature on it, so it had to have been something that was in the air. And the colorization and the grid pattern on it kind of reminds me of a lot of the environmental, let's say, changing weatherization objects that are seen. You know what I mean? So whether it's cloud seeding or some type of weather manipulation device, it kind of looks like it to me. But with these orbs and stuff and these so-called drones that everybody's seeing, it doesn't surprise me if we don't see some of this crap falling from the sky. It really doesn't. So I think it's all connected eventually. I think it will all come out too. So
what I find interesting on it is some big old metal tubings that's used to float liquids and stuff. Usually you see that on setups for hydraulics or petroleum, stuff like that, basically.
Well, yeah, you can even put gases into the atmosphere too with something like that. Because it does kind of remind me of some of the devices that even farmers use to spread the pesticides and
Mm-hmm.
stuff on the farmland. Um,
Mm-hmm.
maybe it is some kind of device like that. We all know that they're changing everything with all this, and it's not normal. I'm sorry, by any ways and means, it's not normal. So,
Yeah.
but that being said, that's a couple topics that we probably should actually discuss further on Rumble, and instead of on
Yeah.
Facebook and on YouTube. So, but I wanted to put that out there to everybody. We all know that this world is operated under frequency and vibration type of things. And we know water has a very, very prominent role in playing in that, okay? Even from biblical transcripts from the Bible describing, as above, so below, the waters above and the waters below, And then you put in the whole grid pattern of the planet with the ley lines and everything, and you come up with something like this.
Mm-hmm.
And if you notice, it's in a triangular pattern, which kind of goes along with a lot of the areas that are
Uh-huh.
reported with heavy activity of the paranormal and supernatural type. So I think it's all connected. Eventually, it's going to come out because water
Yeah.
holds memory and water holds frequency. You know, and there's so many different patterns of manipulation
Water's a good
and
conductor
memory of
too.
water. Yeah, exactly. Here's several patterns and frequencies of the patterns that were studied by the one scientist. I can't remember his name though for the life of me. God, I can't remember his name. But yeah, these patterns, you can almost see that they might even have a connection to crop circles or something along that lines, or hieroglyphic figures. A lot of the Sumerians have depictions of this, which is kind of like the one pattern that's on there, like that,
Mm-hmm.
which, and it shows on this picture that the smaller human, is manipulating that marble table or whatever it is with one arm. Okay.
Hold on a second. You know what that looks like? The Ark of the Covenant. Huh.
Yeah,
Look
but
up
it doesn't
top.
have the cherubs on top.
Well, and that could be if you go by some of the theories that there's actually 4 of them or 10 of them, something like that, and they all have different designs. That looks like one's just with a different design up top where the cherubs usually go. Which
Yeah,
we
true,
know
true.
the tomb, the king's tomb in the Great Pyramid of Giza is actually the perfect dimensions for the Ark of the Covenant, which is said that one of them was there. I can't remember what they actually called it. We call it the Ark of the Covenant. I just happened to look at
I
that and
thought
went,
that
holy
was
crap.
interesting, though. So,
Yeah.
yeah, but that's where I wanted to start the topics tonight. You just go ahead and let me know what you all think about that possibility of all those things, because there's a lot of weird shit happening right now in our world, and nobody has the answers, including our three-letter agencies and
Mm-hmm.
our own government. You know, they don't know what's going
Yep.
on. At least they're not admitting it.
Hey,
So,
Roxanne. Freaky wants to know how important are fault lines.
oh, fault lines are
Well,
just as important as ley lines, to tell you the truth. Because fault lines are, ley lines, I describe ley lines kind of like the blood vessels of the earth. You know what I mean? It, sends that energy, that the blood around, and energizes the entire earth. Whereas fault lines are kind of like adjustments that the earth can make
Yeah.
when it needs to expand or contract, and shift and move due to certain things happening. So
Yep.
energy is what fault lines are, pure energy. If you've ever noticed
Yep.
that whenever there's an earthquake, there's like this glow in the sky, and that's from the energy coming off of the fault line. So, in fact, some people have even seen lightning coming out of the fault line during an earthquake. So, it's been reported.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. Well, every time there's an earthquake, it causes a vibration, and we know what you can move with vibrations. I mean, you move massive, heavy objects with just vibration,
Yep,
frequency. I mean,
exactly.
different kinds of things. I mean, it's
Yep,
all right there.
exactly.
So, our underwater
Yep,
rivers. Yep.
exactly. They are underwater rivers. I mean, if you think about it, even if you don't believe in the biblical scriptures and stuff, but if you don't believe in the firmament, and the firmament above the firmament is the water, which space is water, and then the waters
Mm-hmm.
below. Well, there's actually been reports of water below the waters. That's a complete different density that a lot of these submersibles couldn't penetrate going down into it because it was so
Mm-hmm.
salty, you know. So it was literally they kept on bouncing off of it. And we covered that before in a podcast a while back. I can't remember which one, but yeah, there's so much going on right now, and it's all being affected. And they talk about this great reset, okay? And a great reset is happening. A great reset happens every what 3,600 years.
Yeah.
If you believe in the Anunnaki theory, you know, um, or
Yeah. I heard.
it's like this. Yeah, it's like the 1727 theory, and these are all theories you guys can actually Google on, on your computer and stuff or your phone, and find out more information about. I'm not going to get into the. I'm just going to get into the generalities of them. I'm not going to get in depth into them tonight because I don't have that much time before I run out of air. um, but yeah, there's so much that's connected. It's ridiculous anymore.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, there's several things that play into that. It really, I mean, oh, sorry, guys. That's a show in itself right there. Um,
Yeah,
but
yeah, that's true.
there's a lot of
Well,
connections to the past, present, and future that, I mean, it
yep,
all combines
exactly,
together.
exactly. Now, on top of all that too, I've been doing a lot of research on, the angelic or divine type of energy.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing a lot of research on the dark energy too. And in fact, I grew up in it, so I should know about it, to tell you the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but some of the stuff I've found out is pretty interesting. Take, for instance, the Super Soldier program. I'm going to play a short clip. It's about a 30-second clip, okay, for you all. And I want you to watch it and just tell me what you think, because if this isn't a combination of humanity combined with robotics, combined with AI, um, and you don't see the Terminator future in this, um, you might want to watch. So here, I'm going to play that for everybody, okay?
I'm going to take you up to 120%.
Copy that, sir.
On my mark. Stand by. 3, 2, 1. Mark!
Is that is interesting because first off, that concrete sewer pipe that he picked up, I guarantee that is a very, very heavy object. Okay. They have to
Mm-hmm.
seat those in the ground with basically either a backhoe or something mechanically strong enough to pick it up. So I thought that was very, very interesting. And this clip was found by me online, and I can't remember who put it out originally, but it is marked with a DOD timestamp on it. So, and every research that I've done on that clip comes back to that clip being pretty authentic. Now, I'll play it again, but just look at the sheer power of the possible super soldier program right in front of our eyes.
I'm going to take you up to 120%.
Copy that, sir.
On my mark. Stand by. 3, 2, 1. Mark!
Which I knew they've been working on programs like that for wounded vets for a long time. That's nothing new. They've been doing that for a while.
Exactly, but to have that kind of superhuman strength, with just basically it's basically just an exoskeleton type of a thing that how his limbs don't rip from his flesh are beyond me. So it's got to be a type of fusion that medical science hasn't been able to figure out yet, but yet military scientists have figured it out. There's some type of texture or bonding in the joints of the arms and the legs in order for them not to come ripped off, the sheer weight of that stuff and the force of the kick would literally just shatter most joints, even if it is a mechanical joint.
Yep. I mean, look at, so what was that damn movie? Was it Alita? Where humans were changing parts of their body to robotic and hey Roger, and becoming stronger to the point that they got manipulated. That's what I want, freaky. Yeah. Freaky ass cool. I want Anthony Manning something. Yeah. With the claws. I mean, that just fits my profile.
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
From what. So from what I knew, they were infusing mounts to the bones. Yes, and then you was able to clip it on and clip it off, and everything is ran through. In one field, they were running it off of mentality, so you literally thought what you want to do like you normally do with your body. The other one, I believe, was based off of muscles and how your muscles react. And the ones with the muscles took so long to learn how to adapt to it. That one there, judging by the fact that they got something hooked up to it, would tell me that's probably more of the mental-based aspect of it. So they continually
because of the timing. Yeah, because of the timing of it. Muscle memory is outdated, actually, when it comes to cybernetics type of robotic apertures put onto humans, for missing limbs and stuff. So I would say, I mean, if we've got the Neuralink out there that Elon Musk has, they've got the science in the Black Ops programs to fuse
Mm-hmm.
robotic parts to a human body without any problem. So,
And they're in certain chips into people's head to cause you to basically telepathically control something. And I can't, for the life of me, I cannot remember the name of the two programs that's associated with that. But it was all stemmed from the basis of getting wounded soldiers from IEDs back into the combat field. But that was
right,
the
right.
basis of the program.
Yeah.
So
In
that's been
air
in the military
quotes.
work. Yeah, that was in the military program for a long time. That's all part of the same system that the Marine Corps was developing, the exoskeleton, which really pissed me off because that's what I originally based In Hard Jar Book One Emergence off of, was that suit. And I didn't get it published in time, and Halo came out. So that suit that you see in Halo is actually a replica of the Marine Corps exoskeleton that they were designing before I got out of the Corps.
Yeah. I mean, they designed so many different things, after I got out.
Mm-hmm.
But my friends that stayed in always kind of told me, by other means what was happening, like the cloaking cloth that they have now, that they make uniforms out of. They adapted to aircraft and stuff. I mean, there's so many different things that you wouldn't believe that they had the capability of doing. But at the same time, they're not we're like 100 years behind technology wise that they've allowed us to know compared to what they know, so, and what they have.
I was replying to Don. To the point, yes, Don, them parts were. Um, you had a picture in your opening of a cyborg with the skin pulled back and bolted. That is very, very close to what it would look like. I don't know if you got the individual picture of that or not. I'm looking in your deal.
Not sure. Let me see here.
Yeah, I'm looking in to see if I can find it. But your opening that you had, no, I don't see it in there. But your opening where it had that flesh over the face of the robot, and you see the pin where it's kind of pulled tight. Part of your skin's going to look like that when they infuse that into your bones. Now, that's not just infusing, because they got to wrap the bone and everything to support the bone to support the torque. There's a lot of surgery involved in doing this. But they're getting so good at it now that it's less scarring, less surgery.
Yeah. To what extent do you all think AI already has to do with it? I mean, is AI literally already sentient? Is it already past the point of no return?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm sorry, that system there that they were using is AI based as well. It is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it all is. AI has been out for a lot longer than we realize.
Exactly. Well, look at IBM Watson. IBM Watson was the first AI system developed, and that was back in the 80s.
Yeah.
You don't think that thing's
Don, that's why they got
already like in operation on its own? So
yeah, that's why it's saying it's a very detailed surgery. There's a lot of surgery involved on that, Don, so that doesn't happen. But they've been messing with that. I mean, let's see, I went in the military in '99, and that was old technology whenever I was in. Yep. Yeah, they did, Roger. In fact, one of my favorite movies, and it's got Jean-Claude Van Damme in it, is Cyborg.
Jean-Claude Van Damme. Yep.
You imagine him playing oh my God, Maximus Aurelius. I mean, now I guess that was more Arnold Schwarzenegger, but yeah,
Yeah.
you get my point. That'd be hilarious.
Now, as far as the cloning stuff goes and the super soldier program, what's to prevent them from taking, like, say, that individual there, like if he had all the genetic markers and stuff to be used for the cyborg program with AI combined, what's to stop them from mass producing these super soldiers through a cloning program?
Yeah. I thought I had created a picture very close to what we're talking about on this. It don't look like it did. Do you guys remember the movie Mortal Kombat?
Okay.
The one that's got Jackson them in it. The metal arms that he had when he was fighting. Do you see how that wrapped around his back and connected together? Hey, Jessica. That is a very good example of what they do with that stuff there.
Hey, Jessica. Yeah. Yeah, for entertainment purposes only. Hey, Roxanne, that reminds me. Did you get your package? Because I sent the packages out, and Eric should be getting his tomorrow. So, hoping everybody got their packages already.
Yeah. But yeah, if Don, if that helps you to understand what I'm kind of talking about when it says you got to infuse it, think of that movie. See, look at the jinx of the air, look at the clips of that movie, and you'll understand how it's not ripping the bones and the tissue and all that apart, because it's all kind of it's a lot of surgery involved on it. A lot of surgery involved on it.
And the funny part about it is too, the surgeons that they're using, they may be humans as far as the surgeons go, but they're using robotics to do the surgery. They're not doing it with their own hands. They're using a robot in order to perform the surgeries. So, and I know because I went through a 9.5-hour surgery with a robot doing the surgery. So.
Yeah, I was trying to think how to better describe that, and then it dawned on me: Mortal Kombat and Jax. Get over here! Finish him!
I'm watching the comments.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna have Mortal Kombat.
Oh God! I can't get a break.
No, you can't. Kano, yep, that's another good one too. There, Red. That's another good. Kano's another good example. That was all fused together. RoboCop. There you go. Another one. RoboCop. This is old technology. Could be done by robots with more, precious stuff. Yeah. It's honestly, I mean, they were experimenting with robotic knee braces when I was in. Problem was, it was snapping people's knees in half. That's why they haven't put it out yet. Instead of having a traditional knee brace, you would wear this thing here, and it'd help you to keep the weight off it where you can heal. Sadly, when I was in, it was snapping knees backwards.
Right.
The knees did not bend the way they should. You start pulling
I'm going to play that again. I'm gonna play that clip again for Jessica because I don't know if she saw it or not. So I'm going to play it again for her to see what she comments on.
I'm going to take you up to 120%.
Copy that, sir.
On my mark. Stand by. 3, 2, 1. Mark!
I love that. I'll buy that for $1. God, I ain't heard that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'm
man.
just curious.
I mean, it's just yeah. So, but yeah, this is
Exoskeleton
stuff they've been
yeah.
working on for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see. Uh-oh. I don't know if Jessica's still on or not, but I'm kind of curious to see what she thinks about that.
Yeah. So yeah,
dude.
Dude. What does mine say? Sweet. What does mine say? Dude.
God. Oh.
Oh gosh, man, I can't. Are you not entertained? Yeah, I'm loving these comments in here, man. Now I gotta watch RoboCop. Gosh dang it! I said I'll buy that for $1. Now I'm stuck and I need to watch RoboCop. I'm too busy trying to get the last of the Pythian Castle one done, where I'm actually walking around doing the investigation and tying everything together, fighting my computer for freaking 6 hours for 6 minutes or 7 minutes worth of work. Be able to watch a movie right now. I need a better. Hey, Smurfy.
Well,
I need.
I want to ask. Yeah, I want to ask everybody out there if they've ever heard of the name Beleth. Okay, Beleth, Beleth. And in fact, if Dr. Dennis Carroll is in the audience, he would probably know who I'm talking about. Beleth is. It's also spelled Bilet or Bileth or Byleth. But anyways, it's the demon king of hell who has 85 legions of demons under his command. Okay. And basically, he is the demon responsible for all kinds of music before him. So basically, he's the one that's responsible for the demon part of the music industry, reaching out and and basically demonically influencing people. And the reason I bring that up, in the beginning of the podcast, you all remember me bringing up the whole Elvis thing, okay? About a topic with Elvis. I know that a lot of people believe that, that pastor is Elvis, and that pastor is, probably Elvis. I'm almost 100% convinced on that. Smurfy, good to see you. Red Edge, good to see you. Poncho, good to see you. But here's a theory going around, okay? And this is probably one of the most bizarre conspiracy theories I've ever come across. Okay. We all kid around about Elvis has left the building, or Elvis didn't die, he went home, that kind of thing, there's all kinds of like sarcastic kind of responses to Elvis, continuing on. Okay. Well, there's this theory out there that the original Elvis was replaced, and the original Elvis became a preacher because that was his long life dream, to be a preacher. Okay. Now, the conspiracy theory is that when he was replaced with a lookalike or a double, that double was possessed by Beleth, the demon of music, okay, which made Elvis the king of music. Okay, so there's that connection too. Okay, with the demonic. Um, so the conspiracy is that the Elvis that everybody was used to up until the point of where he died, um, was not the original Elvis. Okay, it was the demonically possessed Elvis that basically had to reinvent himself into another musical um, idol. I guess is what you would call that type of a person, because a lot of people idolized Elvis, which it says in the Bible you shouldn't do. Um, so my question is, who do you think currently that Beleth has taken over and incorporated himself into the music industry as after the demise of Elvis? Okay, not the original Elvis. The original Elvis, was replaced by a look-alike, okay, or a duplicate, whatever you want to call it, a clone, whatever you want to call it, okay. And he went on to be the preacher, and then the second Elvis is the one that was possessed by Beleth, okay. Um, I always had a thought that it could be Diddy. Now that's just a thought, you know. What do you guys think about that whole theory?
Oh, it's definitely possible. They haven't done enough research on it to have a really good. Oh God, don't say that name, Demos. Say Demos. You just.
Hey, Demaria. Hey, Demos.
You had to bring that name up.
Oh no, we don't talk about the TS. Nope,
I
nope,
can't
nope. We don't
stand
talk
her.
about the TS. Yeah. Besides, actually, TS is supposed to be the reincarnated daughter of uh, Antoine LaVey. So,
I didn't know
in
that.
fact, they looked exactly alike, to tell you the truth. So, there's a definite resemblance. But Anton LaVey, his daughter, is supposed to be TS. Okay, and you can figure out who I'm talking about, TS. Okay, so you don't have to say it in the comments. Yeah, Pyromedic. The original Elvis did have Cherokee blood. Okay, that's a given. Okay, he did have Cherokee blood. Okay, that's why the conspiracy theory is that at a certain point in Elvis's career, he didn't want to participate in it anymore. So he was replaced by a double, a look-alike, or a clone, whatever you want to call him. And that individual, that clone or that look-alike, basically got possessed by Bleth, okay, and became the king of rock and roll. And we all, from demonology, we know that Beleth was the king of music. So it's just a theory, and it's just a conspiracy theory. So it could be completely BS. It could be not. But that's just something else I find interesting. That I mean, there's a lot of correlations that kind of connect. You actually check into it. Okay, so
Joshua says Elvis had a twin. Did he really die? I didn't know he had a twin. That's first me ever hearing that.
yeah, I
Didn't know
haven't heard that either. Unless the twin was the clone or the double.
The clone.
So
Me too. And the fact that she's on my beloved Chiefs for every time they make a score, freaking can't stand that freaking demonic piece of crap. I'm not a
Now,
Tay
that's a
fan.
rumble spot.
It's a rumble.
That's a rumble. We got to be careful, folks.
Yeah.
We got to be careful. We can't be talking about certain subjects and certain people because we get in trouble. And I am out of coffee, and it hasn't even been an hour yet.
Uh-oh. I just popped the top again.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Oh, let's get ready to rumble.
Yeah, Poncho, we get ready to rumble. You're going to be brought on the podcast too. So we're going to bring you on and let you speak your mind. We can only allow Poncho so much to do in the chat because I know he wants to like unleash, you know. So when
Poncho
we do a rumble, we gotta bring him on. We gotta bring Poncho on when we do the rumble. So
yeah, he definitely rumble rated.
yeah, rumble rated, right? You're a rated R superstar there, Poncho.
Oh my God, dude. What time is it? We started, depending on what time zone you're in, DFer. I mean, for me, it was 10 o'clock Central Standard Time, East Coast 11.
Yep. Rocky Mountain time would be 9 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific time.
You know, that just rang a bell there, Scott. Now that you said that name. You know what? I think I do remember someone saying he had a twin that died at birth now. When he said Aaron, I was thinking Aaron Presley, and it just dawned on me about that. I think now I'm starting to remember something about it now. I haven't looked into Elvis in so long. I mean, I'm a firm believer that real Elvis is Bob Joyce.
He didn't die. He just went back to his planet.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
Heck yeah.
I remember when that first started talking like that. Elvis has left the building.
It's a honka honka burning love. Uh-huh. You messed up now, hey, Ron? I don't think so. I know my phone's trying to send her a picture.
I didn't see a response from her, in that video. So
yeah, I'm trying to send her a picture because I had her do a remote view of the place that DA and I is about to go do a paranormal investigation on. And it's funny how accurate it was. So I was trying to send her a picture of that building just to show her what what she had in a remote view and how accurate it was.
I put the disclaimer at the bottom of the screen.
Hell yeah. That freaking stupid.
Well, here's an interesting picture of Elvis, okay? And I want you to this is actually taken from a video that I saw that was disclosed of Elvis. And this is the time frame when he was kind of getting tired of being Elvis. And it was after World War II and after all the major songs and stuff. It was probably sometime around the 1960s, around that time frame, that he was replaced. And this picture is taken from the video, and the person that's walking behind him I swear to God, in the video, if you watch the video, just go to YouTube and Google the video, Elvis videos, and it'll pop up. The guy transforms into a lizard being. So this just kind of backs up everything, this picture. And that is a person walking behind him, one of his band members. Okay. And if you kind of look at Elvis, you can see that he is starting to almost change too, almost. Look at the hair on the corner of his left temple. You can see that that's starting to change. And then his nose and his going down to his chin is starting to change too. But I captured this picture because of the person walking behind him looks to be a lizard being, a reptilian. And we all know that reptilians that are here, whether it's Draco or the ones that were, evolved from dinosaurs, not the ones that came here, but we all know that they're here, okay? And we know that the reptilian beings have been misinterpreted as demons, misinterpreted as gargoyles, and other things, So, and they have the ability to shapeshift. So it wouldn't be that far-fetched to assume that this Elvis could be a demonic entity and be surrounded by the reptilians. Just a thought. I'm just putting it out there.
Red says,
Wouldn't you
William,
say that
wouldn't
the
you say
Cherokee
that
are the ones? The history of the interaction of the settlers and the Wally tribe. Read that again.
Wouldn't you say that the Cherokee are the one tribe with the longest and most history of interaction with settlers than any other tribe?
Well, yes and no. The Penobscots were the ones up in New England, I believe, and the Abenaki up in that area of New England were interacting with, the English and stuff, and the Vikings coming over before the English. But yeah, the Cherokee have a very lengthy history dealing with the European races. Whether they were, the first ones, I wouldn't know, but a lot of the Cherokee belief systems were pretty much adopted by a lot of the smaller tribes, like the Rappahannock and stuff like that in the area along the East Coast. And, we all know about the whole Croatoan thing, with the lost colony of Roanoke. So, yeah, there is a very, very deep, diverse type of a connection to other cultures coming from Europe.
Good night, Carl. Or never mind, read that wrong. Sorry, this chat's like and I'm trying to it's messing.
Yeah, I know it's really rough. Well, here's another thought too, guys, and this is just off the top of my head. I'm always talking about like the fallen angels and stuff, and how they're linked to a lot of the very, very prominent stars in Hollywood and in the music industry, which also makes that Elvis connection too, if you think about it. Okay. But this is getting to the point where it's getting utterly out of control, because you look at these people and they are literally, and I realize everybody has a double. Everybody has their, their doppelganger or whatever you want to call it, But this is just utterly ridiculous. Look at this. 1818 to 2018. That would make him 200 years old. And he's probably older than that.
Yeah. Dang it. Why do you have to do that to one of my favorite actors, Morgan Freeman? Curse you, Holly Scrooge.
Well, think about it. Think about it, though. I mean, look at the resemblance.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it can't be denied. It can't be denied. And a lot of the other, figures and stuff. So, in Hollywood and in the music industry, it can't be denied that there is a demonic presence in those industries. Okay. It cannot be denied.
Yeah. Wu says he figured out the drone sightings.
Oh, yeah? What'd you figure out, Wu?
Yeah, the looks like a spitting image. The smirk says it all. Yeah, same smirk. I mean, so we also got to think about, if you study all the ancient cultures, every single one of them, even Christianity, will talk about at one point in time, people had extended lives. I mean, they lived thousands of years. Look in ancient Sumeria when the kings would rule for 47,000 years. I mean, it's all in ancient history.
You don't have to look any further than the one African tribe by Ethiopia that the Doctors Without Borders went into their village, and this doctor was talking to 5 of the men of the family, of one family, and he asked how old the youngest was, and the youngest one spoke up and said, "I'm 18." And apparently his father was 30 years old, okay, or older, 35, 36, somewhere around there. And his father was like 60 some years old. And then his father, which would have been his great grandfather of the 18-year-old, was said to be 100 and some years old. And then that guy's father was 130 some years old. So, and it was proven all 5 of them were genetically linked. And, here it was that their diet consisted of apricot seeds and other things, other herbs and stuff that they ingested on a regular basis that gave them longevity. So, apparently we have the ability within us to live a lot longer than we do. It's just that the powers that be contaminate us so much with all these chemicals that they're spraying on the foods and putting in the preservatives and putting in the fluoride in the water and the chemicals in the sky, that it's literally destroying our bodies a lot sooner than what we would be without all those chemicals.
Yeah, I mean, Pancho said apricot seed coffee.
Yeah, a mushroom and an apricot seed. There was all kinds of different things that they ate, but it was trying to think of the other. It was apricot seeds and God, what was the vegetable that they talked about? I can't remember the vegetable that they talked about, but that was the main part of their diets. That and of course wild game. So
Yep. Yep. They are. They have been for a while. Never mind. I got quit. Rumble. Thinking about living long as most of your life, you're old and can't do what you could do in your teens and 20s. If life extended, I'd want to have a body of a. Thing is, Smurfy, back in them times, they kept their youth. So, yeah, you'd still have your youth. Yeah, definitely do. Smurfy, I know that feeling. I jumped out of helicopters for 13 years.
And that was without a chute.
Sadly, yeah, it was with a damn rope.
Oh, I did my combat repels too, and my jumps. Trust me, I know.
Heifer says, so what's the time slip thing? Is that out of body moments? Possibly on some occasions, yep.
It's hard to
Yep,
say.
that was people.
If you think about the the time slips and stuff, the biggest belief I have in that whole time slip thing is that it's CERN and AI that's causing it. Okay. And I do believe that there is so much that has been hidden from us technology wise. I believe CERN's been doing this a lot longer than what they've indicated on their website, and doing more than what's on their website. Trust me, they have the creepiest ceremonies that are completely satanic, okay, in nature, and completely irrelevant to what they're supposed to be doing as far as research goes. Okay. So, the best way to, how do I want to say this? The best way to influence people with the dark magic, the dark witchcraft and stuff, and the satanic beliefs, Luciferian beliefs, is to speak it in plain sight, to put bits and pieces in music when you sing music, to put bits and pieces of certain frequencies in music, to divulge something to the public through movies, and then have it happen without any repercussion. You see what I'm saying? In order to cast a spell, you need to say the words, but you don't need to say the words as a spell form. You just need to say the plan of the words, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
To make things happen.
Woo Rider, I'm trying to think how I can answer this question on YouTube.
Are we talking about the Notre Dame Cathedral ceremony that he's supposed to do?
The one underneath the one underneath the altar at the Vatican. Oh, he's opening up Lucifer's tomb. Hey, Larry.
Well, there'll be an altar boy or someone that age that will be missing. I guarantee it, because in order to open up literally the gates of hell, you got to
Yep.
sacrifice somebody. Okay. We don't
Mhm.
have blood sacrifices and sacrificial lambs and cattle in the biblical faiths
Yep.
without a reason, and that reason is because sacrifice proved to whatever God that you were willing to sacrifice the best of the best for communicado with the creator. Okay. Kind of like when we did rituals, the dark arts of the native people here, the indigenous people, which I was a part of for a long time. It's along the same lines as that. We had to sacrifice our literally. You give a pound of flesh, literally. Okay, so we have to be careful. See, I've got to be careful how I word things too, because
Yeah.
when you word things, I don't want things to occur that shouldn't be occurring, if you know what I mean. Um,
Yeah.
there was a point in time in my life where I could just think of a thought and make it happen. But now I tend to watch my wording as best as I can because I don't want to invoke something, you know.
Yeah. Hell, not only that, you gotta be careful what you say on here too. So I'm trying to think of the way of putting this where it don't get you in trouble. Um, it's not good.
Well, I just wanted to put this subject matter out there to everybody. I hope it gives everybody a little bit to think about. And I'm forever asking people to do their own research.
Yep.
Yeah, check into the whole demonic music thing, okay, and the Elvis connection, because it's very, very fascinating. Um, everything I found out from my own research on the subject is that pretty much whenever somebody in the music industry makes a deal at the crossroads with the devil, or the devil's consorts, other demonic entities like Beleth,
Yep.
they have to give more than a pound of flesh. Trust me, they have to. Now, another thing to consider too, though, which just dawned on me too as I was speaking just now. What if the whole cloning thing could be used as that pound of flesh for these artists, so-called artists, that make the deal with the devil?
I did not know that, Carl. I need to look into that. Probably not. At least not the way that we think of it.
Again,
Yeah,
Poncho, you're gonna have to go to Rumble.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
I guess we're gonna have to do another Rumble show.
yeah,
I'm gonna have to set something up soon, but I'm so busy trying to get this video out. I mean, I'm behind on my videos right now, getting everything
yeah.
out to everybody.
Well,
Yeah,
I just wanted to come on for a little bit tonight and, just bring up some of these topics, and see what everybody thought, because, unless we research this stuff, we're not ever have any answers, plain and simple.
Yeah.
So, but with that being said, I'm gonna call it a night. And everybody, I might not have a show tomorrow morning. I'll definitely have a show Sunday morning, but depending on when I get back from a certain location, if I get back in time tomorrow morning, I'll have a show. But if I don't be mad. Be glad, because we're having one on Sunday morning. Okay. So with that being said, after that show Sunday, that's going to be my last show until after my surgery. I don't know if you all noticed, but I got my pretty little orange bracelet on that they put on me to do the surgery. So anyways, that's coming up on the 20th of the month. And I kind of want to give myself about, a couple days before then to kind of relax before I get into it. So that's why Sunday I'm going to cut it off, and then we'll start again in the new year, So, or a little bit before the new year. It'll be after Christmas that we start again. Okay.
Sounds good. I mean, I'll be doing shows because none of mine will.
You can come on here anytime you want, Eric, and do a morning show. I mean, you're set up to do that if you want. Mm-hmm. If I have a medical thing going on, you can pull Roxanne or Scott or somebody on to help you out. Send them the invite.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, if that's what the people want, I mean, I don't have an issue doing that at all. Right now I don't know what I'm doing this weekend on my Sunday show. Saturday I'm not going to have a show Saturday night because I've got a Christmas party to go to. So I won't be available. But Sunday, I'm not sure what it's going to do. I'm probably going to do my Christmas special next weekend. Let me look at the calendar real quick. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, that Christmas special that I had could have gone a little better. Could have gone a little better because of the internet. But at least we got through it. So, with everybody's help. So
we did.
It was still entertaining. So
we adapted and overcame.
Yeah.
So I don't know what for sure my topic's going to be for my Christmas special next weekend. It'll be Christmas based, obviously. I've already done one show on the true history of Christmas, which I may kind of hit that again, just as a refresher. And, at the same time, I hit my 1 year mark on the 3rd of doing podcast on my channel. I mean, that's thanks to everybody in here. I had mentors like William and DA and Jessica that's helped me out, and I'm slowly growing and I'm learning and evolving on making videos because I'm going to be, every investigation I do, I post on my channel. So I'm going to be going through, I've got a new program I'm trying to learn so I can edit. I'll probably end up redoing a lot of that stuff. So yeah, it's a learning process.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It is. Well, I appreciate everybody being here in the chat. You guys mean a lot to me. You're definitely extended family. I appreciate it. If you can, like, heart, and share this out, because there was a lot of topics that we covered tonight. Because I wanted to get through a couple of them that I had planned for later on, but since I have the surgery coming up, that's going to be a totally. That whole week is going to be a nuts type of a week. It's going to be crazy. Hey,
Lee. I
How we
don't want
doing,
to pop
Lee?
that one up there, not to be mean, but that'll probably get you in trouble. But that's quite
Yeah.
possible, Lee.
Yeah, true. It's true though, but yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, I just want to thank everybody for being here. Thank you guys for all your support, for all your coming and participating in the chat and just doing what you do on a daily basis when we come on. It means a lot to me. Whatever happens on the 20th with my surgery, take it as it comes, okay? So if something bad happens, try not to be too concerned about it, because I got a funny feeling I'm going to be a lot more powerful on the other side anyways. So being a warrior for the light is a lot better than being a warrior for the dark. So, but, much love and blessings to everybody. I want to thank you guys for being here. Eric, is there anything else you want to add?
I have updated. I've had a little bit of time to work on a couple of my books. If you're a subscribed Patreon member, you'll see the latest updates. One of them was I worked on Death Haunts Tonight some, and I've also worked on Saga Grimson book 3, Revenge of the Wendigo. Those are updated on Patreon. So if you are one of my Patreon subscribers, you get first look at my books from beginning to end, prior editing, after editing. Anytime I work on them, I update it on my Patreon. So those are up there if you're a subscribed Patreon member. It's $3 a month. I don't have 3 tiers right now. I just got one. So that is on there. I haven't had a chance to continue uploading news articles from the Library of Congress. And I'm not done with all my videos. So some of my investigation videos are on there. The ones that ain't, because I've still got to go through them. That's also, if you're a Patreon member, you get uncut access to any of my investigative videos.
All right, everybody. So if we're not on tomorrow morning because I get back too late from where I have to go in the morning, we'll definitely be on Sunday morning, okay, at 11 a.m. Eastern. And we'll see you all then, okay? Much love to everybody. Enjoy the rest of your night. I'll get out and watch the meteor shower, okay? You never know. You might see a couple fallen angels. You never know. So
there you go.
Take care, everybody.
Thank you.